So from our chances Sanchez, I will predict as Arsenal will end the season on the 5th position. It is 8 days to go with the players and clubs getting ready for the biggest football league season. That brings it to you again, the chances and chances of the various English Premier League football team in the English Premier League season 2025-2026. We don't just talk about football, but we analyze the possibilities and the predictabilities of each and every English Premier League football team. So today we begin with this club. Yes, Arsenal of London has been a runner-ups for the 3 consecutive seasons. Last season, the last previous season, and the 3 previous season back-to-back. Over the last season, they had 3 points left behind Liverpool. Unlike the last 2 seasons, whereby they were 2 points gap against Manchester City, and the upper season, whereby they 5 points gap behind the Manchester City. So for 3 consecutive seasons, Arsenal has been a runner-ups of the English Premier League, and cumulatively for the past 10 years, Arsenal has come the 2nd position for the 4 times. Mikel Arteta, who has spent 5 years and 8 months in the Arsenal as a head coach, has tried his best to get a couple of players, quality players for that matter, but we are looking at whereby you convert these quality players to match winners, not just the quality players, but match winners. We'll be getting that 3 important points at every single match played in the English Premier League to ensure that they end up winning the English Premier League, or rather, being in the 2nd position for the 4th time in a row. So from our chances Sanchez, I will predict as Arsenal will end the season on the 5th position. Let's not disregard the fact that things sometimes can still happen when the season begins if only Mikel Arteta can make those important changes and also fix on important formation that will enable these players to play very well, and at the same time individual brilliance, because I always emphasize on individual brilliance when it comes to field of play. Most of the times the coaches' tactics will just not necessarily work, because as you're setting your position the same way that other coaches are setting their position, but most of the times the individual brilliance is what match with those coach tactics to get the match results that each and every club needs it. So let's not forget the fact that Arsenal played the last night against Villarreal, whereby the Villarreal played them 3-2 and even went on a penalty shootout, and yet Arsenal couldn't win the match. But that's the field of the game, that's the law of the game. Anything can happen in the field of play, but at the same time, let's just take it whatsoever that happened in the field of play as what we can correct in our dressing room and in our training ground, and also to get the desirable results we need in our next matches. So I would even suggest that Arsenal look into their formation, because last night they played 4-3-3 formation, and which to me is not a balanced formation for the kind of squad we have in Arsenal for this season. So we need a formation that we combine all the abilities of these players in every single match, not just in a particular match. To me, 4-3-3 is not a balancing one to accommodate the quality of players they have now. So I would suggest that Arsenal should play the formation of 4-1-4-1. To me, is a balanced formation with what they have. So let me start from the goalkeeping side. The goalkeeping side, we have David Raya, we have Kepa Arrizabalaga. So we're having David Raya and Kepa Arrizabalaga is a balance, and for me the goalkeeping squad, whereby the 2 goalkeepers you can rely on it because they make those important savings and also can go ahead to keep a clean sheet and each and every one of the matches. So looking at the defensive side, I always like to watch William Saliba and Gabriel playing that back formation. They're always at their best. In fact, last season, any striker that could score whenever these 2 players are playing will have to be at its top best to ensure that he will be able to break in and score those goals. 2 of them are good combination for Arsenal back lines, whereby they have looking at the right wing back and the left wing back. Talking about the right wing back, I really trust the likes of Lewis Kelly. I love the way that young man plays his football. He's always defensive minded, and at the same time, the reason why I suggested this 4-1-4-1 is that whereby you have players that are defensive minded, a creativity player, and always ready to intercept, and also an attacking formidable force that will help the striker, which is the 9th man, to give those important goals or create chances for him to score. So that's whereby I like the combination of William Saliba and Gabriel. They're always defensive minded, even though when they go for all those set pieces, they are always conscious of the defensive side of their team. So Lewis Kelly also have the same ability, but looking at the left flank, I don't really see Arsenal having a strong left flank defender who is defensive minded. These are Zinchenko, to me, is not really that defensive minded, but he's very good at making those attacking runs to give those important crosses to the strikers at the up front. Then Calafiori is quite defensive, but not really strong, maybe because he has not blended into the English Premier League yet, because of the couple of injuries he has last season and not having a good number of playing time. But the matches he played, he shows to be more of defensive minded than attacking front. Then when you look at the defensive midfielder, we have Declan Rice. Declan Rice has been a quality and a good player, a player that can intercept, a player that can give those true passes and a long crosses, a player that can play from outside the 18, a player that can create chances and also make those diagonal runs to create chances for the strikers to score, and also make those diagonal runs for the defensive side to see space to give him an important pass that can lead to an attacking force that can give the match result and the goal needed. So looking at the four men at the front, I would like to see the likes of Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Kai Havertz, probably Martinelli or Noni Madueke. So let me talk a bit about Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz playing behind the Gyökeres is what I see that will be a formidable attacking force, because Kai Havertz is a player that loves to play individual football, but with someone around him. He loves those tiki-taka, making those diagonal runs to see space, give assist, and at the same time give an important shot that can lead to goal. So playing behind Gyökeres will give those wide angle whereby the likes of Declan Rice can get the ball through him or get the ball from him to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka playing from the right will give him space to break those runs to the midfield or to the 18-yard box, giving space to meet the likes of Martinelli, who is always creative and who is always available to make those important crosses, important passes, and important shots. So playing them from behind, giving it to Kai Havertz at the same time can make those diagonal runs with Martinelli from the left flank, giving it space for them to interchange, making those diagonal runs to interchange from the midfield to the left flank, and then giving space and at the same time disabling the defensive side of the opponent. Because having all those diagonal runs and giving all those passes and making all those moves, we definitely unbalance the defenders, giving Gyökeres the chance to give that goal, or at the same time give him chance to do all those tapping whereby the cross came in and he has to tap it inside the net, or whereby any of those players have to shoot from outside the box and goalkeeper not having the chance to save the ball properly, and you could have a striker there to score, making all those crosses at the center to give him space to do all those finishing with the head. So playing this 4-1-4-1 formation, we balance the team whereby the defensive-minded players will be there doing the defensive work, because definitely the opponent has to attack, whereby you have a creative and interceptive defensive midfielder who will be there to make those interceptions and they collect those balls and they give those passes and long crosses and outside the team shot to those attacking minded players who are eager to move front rather than to go back and make sure that they create those chances, unbalance the defenders, and give those important part through balls to a top 9 who I believe so much will still perform well. And I believe Mikel Arteta believes so well in this Gyökeres, and that's why they go ahead to sign him, which he didn't just come to Arsenal to just come and 4 years, and he definitely performed. With what I'm seeing, he will perform whereby you have a good combination of players to help him, because as a striker you definitely need those attacking-minded players behind you to give you all those spaces to do the scoring. So from our chances and chase, I can see Arsenal, like I said, being in the 5th position. And mind you, Mikel Arteta might get sacked this season. Yeah, with what I'm saying, it's Mikel Arteta might get sacked, because when the season begins, he might step into the 6 years in the club. So it takes all these important considerations of the players to convert these quality players to match-winning players. We keep Mikel Arteta assisting in the club, but anything aside that, he might just risk the chances of leaving the club or getting sacked, or at the same time, Arsenal finishing 5th position this season. So what do you have to say about Arsenal team? Arsenal fans out there, what do you have to say? I know that you will be so happy and be thinking that this season is for you. Yeah, it could be for anybody, it's open for anybody. But from my own chances and chairs prediction, because in this program we'll be predicting the possibilities and the predictabilities of each and every club in this coming season. So you can also do your own prediction here in the comment box, and we will get into it and see what it turns out to be at the season. And as the season goes on, we can be talking about the changes that we have been seeing that is productive or not productive, and we can be seeing if they are playing beyond what they have played before or if they are being underplayed. So this season, 8 days to go, everything we just set in place. So this is where I cut it short for today's Chances and Chase, and we will come back with another club with what is possible there and what is not possible, their predictabilities and their possibilities of playing this season's English Premier League 2025-2026 season. Until then, I still remain Ebuka Ibia.